Hello, first grade writers. Today we're going to continue working on our realistic fiction stories. We know that when we're writing realistic fiction stories, we have to imagine some characters, we have to put them in a place, and we have to give them some adventures, maybe a little trouble to get into. This week, I've been writing some Gretchen stories. I started off writing about an adventure where she was sitting in her tree fort and she heard some noises, and it turned out to be a baby bird that was injured. And she was very brave, and she got her sweater and scooped up that baby bird and took it to the Lindsay Wildlife Museum to get fixed. I started another story about the same character, Gretchen, in the same tree fort. And this time, Gretchen has a different kind of trouble. I'm going to read it to you. You can follow along with me. Gretchen was playing in her tree fort when it began to thunder. She couldn't decide whether to stay in her fort or run for the house. Lightning flashed. Gretchen trembled. "Mom!" she yelled. No one came. And then suddenly, a bigger flash and a crack. Gretchen hid her head in her hands. Crack! She was cold. She didn't know what to do. So, first graders, you can see that I've got my character, Gretchen. I've got my setting, the tree fort, and I've got some trouble. And the trouble this time is that she is in a storm and she's stuck in her tree fort. Now, if I left my story there, that would kind of be unfair because you don't know what happens to Gretchen. So writers, good writers, always have to try to find a way to get their characters out of trouble. They have to create an ending for their story where they get their characters out of trouble. So, I did a little brainstorming here. Okay, this is my little page. I'm writing fiction writers get their characters out of trouble. And then I wrote down some ideas of what I could do. I brainstormed. I thought, maybe she gets out and she runs to the house. But she seems a little scared, so I don't know if she's going to be able to do that. Maybe her mom runs out to get her. But it is really storming. I don't know if that's safe. I'm going to think of a good way to get her out of trouble. Oh, I've got it. Okay. I'm going to have her sitting there just waiting and then have the storm all of a sudden stop. Enough for her to run down and get to her house safely. Okay, so I'm planning that out. And as I finish, this is what my story's going to look like. Okay. Then the storm passed, so I'm getting her out of trouble. Gretchen's mom yelled, "Gretchen, come inside and get dry. I made hot chocolate." I'm betting Gretchen's feeling really good right now. Gretchen climbs down the treehouse. Gretchen raced for the house. Her mom was in the door. She ran fast. She felt safe at last, sitting at the table with her mom and hot chocolate. So writers, as you can see, when you're writing your realistic fiction stories, you want to make sure that you create a really good ending for your stories too. And to create a good ending, you want to make sure that you get your characters out of trouble. Today, as you do your writing, I want you to try this. Imagine your character, imagine some trouble, and then find a way to get your characters out of trouble. Off you go.